Now that Tesla is building its Gigafactory in Shanghai, it is important for us to ask one question. What will this change do for Tesla? Now, I want to first of all dismiss the view that Tesla shouldn't open its Gigafactory in Shanghai because the Chinese are going to steal our technology and intellectual property. I think the biggest flaw of this argument is the assumption that Tesla's strategy team is somehow incapable. Somehow, Tesla, with all her engineering prowess and know-how, couldn't make better decisions. So granted that Tesla, after considering all that we know and all that we don't, has decided to open its Gigafactory in Shanghai despite all those intellectual property theft allegations, there must be something Tesla is after. So today, let's have an in-depth discussion on those things. What are the opportunities and challenges of Tesla in China, and will it succeed as it did in the United States? First of all, let me give you a quick update of Tesla's status in China. After the video I made on Shanghai Gigafactory a few months ago, Tesla Shanghai has launched its Phase 1 Gigafactory construction, which is planned to complete in summer 2019. Yes, you heard me right. Tesla's production in China will begin in around 6 months from now. Considering the construction speed of the Chinese and Tesla's existing know-how, this timeline will be doable but challenging at the same time. Once it's finished, Tesla will have many opportunities in China. First, China has the most complete and well-trained EV supply chain in the world. Why is that, you may ask? China has produced half of the world's EV last year. It's indisputable that when you do something again and again, you get better at it. When I was in Shenzhen last September, all of the taxis and buses are electric. That was incredible. Second, it's the most competitive auto market in the world. Oftentimes, we take for granted the changes that are happening around us. China's automobile manufacturing was one of them. In the early 2000s, American car production is around 12 million per year, 10 million for Japan and 2 million for China. However, fast forward 19 years, although automobile manufacturing stayed relatively the same in the United States and Japan, the number in China increased 15 times to around 30 million per year. Not only was production increased, so was consumption. 25 million cars were sold in China in 2018 as opposed to 8 million in the United States, 4 million in Japan, and 3 million in Germany, by far the biggest in the world. Additionally, out of that 30 million, 2 million were luxury cars. What this means is that Tesla's growth potential in China is tremendous because the Chinese people have both the ability and the desire to purchase high-quality cars like Tesla. But then the problem comes in. Without a local factory, Tesla's cars are sold at an uncompetitive price point. To put Tesla's situation into context, the tariff on automobile in China was at one time as high as 40%, which means a $40,000 Tesla Model 3, if imported, could cost over $60,000 in China. And what makes it worse is that almost all of Tesla's competitors have their productions locally in China with their local Chinese partners. This puts Tesla in an unfair disadvantage. But despite that fact, China is still the biggest Tesla market after the United States. Imagine the potential that can be unlocked when it's sold at an actual $40,000 price point. Having a local partner in China is also very important. They help navigate the bureaucracy as well as the legal system, connecting upstream suppliers as well as downstream dealers. However, as most of you guys know, in an effort to further opening up the Chinese market, Tesla is allowed to wholly own its factory in China. This is obviously good news as Tesla can control its technology 100%, but it also means that there is no one else to shoulder the risk, no one to take care of the Chinese government, no one to finance the investment. Currently, Tesla has committed 100 million Chinese RMB to the project, which is around 15 million US dollars. But as the project continues, the number will go to the hundreds of millions. This, in my opinion, is the biggest risk of Tesla's operation in China. So it's not hard to see that there are a lot of opportunities opening up this factory in China, but they always come with some form of challenges. Another complication to Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory is the existing internet and mobile infrastructure. One of the hurdles of Tesla United States is the Protectionist Car Dealers Association. Tesla just can't sell their cars in local stores in certain states. But in China, there is no such restriction. Tesla can choose to sell online or sell through its own stores, whichever way is better for Tesla. However, comes with this vibrant internet culture is a hyper-competitive landscape. Over 50 electric vehicle startups exist in China right now. there are also bigger incumbents like BYD and SAIC, which already have great relationships with the government and private taxi companies. Smaller startups are also getting millions of investment, so it's a very competitive market. NIO, for example, sells its first electric SUV at around $60,000 in China and is considered a competitor of Tesla's Model X, which can cost easily $100,000. Furthermore, some electric vehicles in China can cost as low as $10,000. Not only does Tesla need to compete on the basis of quality, but the cutthroat pricing is also a hurdle that Tesla needs to cross. The narrative of Tesla in the United States is Tesla against the world, the underdog getting bullied by the car dealers and bigger auto companies, but in China, it's just another EV brand, albeit a great one. That said, Tesla is the pioneer in the EV market, and its cars are consistently well received among its users as well as industry experts. Just recently, Consumer Car Report, after surveying 500,000 car owners, has named Tesla Model 3 the most satisfactory car, quote, brings its owner most joy. Now, from an engineering standpoint, that doesn't mean anything, but it does show how much we love Tesla. Will the same Tesla phenomenon persist in China? Very possibly. Tesla's fixation on quality is quite amazing, which is what enabled its great sales in 2018, but Tesla does need to take into consideration the unique market conditions that I mentioned in this video. Therefore, one of the key things I should mention to my North American and European audiences is that the new Shanghai Gigafactory is definitely a great news for Tesla, but I do not think it will change Tesla's situation in other markets because most of the cars produced in China will be sold in China as well. However, Tesla's experience and competition in China will give Tesla a more accurate understanding of how the world is moving forward in the electric vehicle industry. That would be a great thing overall.